Also, Adam asked about what's the latest on any kind of expansion in the Big 12, and I was explaining it to Adam, and we'll explain it to you again, and we've said this a lot, but you don't get to catch all the things we say, is the lack of a college football playoff expansion decision, and also the fact that rights are up with the Pac-12. That's slowed things down. The college football expansion probably slowed things down. The lack of a decision slowed down most everything, really, to a screeching halt until they can figure that out. It might be another year or two if they even get to a decision by then.
There's no rush. I mean, there's no rush if you're the Big 12 because I don't think you really feel like, unless there's some plan going on, and hey, as we saw with Texas and Oklahoma, there's always these plans going on behind the scenes. But, I mean, I don't think anybody is out there rushing to grab SMU right now. I don't think anybody's out there rushing to grab UNLV or Boise or anybody right now. I mean, do you see any conference really making moves that are, showing their hands? No, there's nothing in that regard. So, yeah, I mean, there's teams that would love to be in the Big 12 like Boise State, but it's got to make sense for the Big 12, and they don't even know what their TV contract's going to look like here in the next couple of years. I mean, keep that in mind. They've got a TV contract coming up in a couple of years, and that's when they'll find out how much value has been lost with Texas and Oklahoma and then subsequently added with the 4 new schools. But, you got to see how that kind of plays out before you even venture into, I would think, adding 2 to 4 more teams, because I just think it's too uncertain. You don't know for sure that you're bringing more. You could be, like, for example, if the Big 12, not knowing what their TV deal is going to take a step down because there's no Texas and Oklahoma, which you assume that they will. Okay, Cincinnati and UCF and Houston and I always forget one
BYU.
of them. BYU. I'm sure they'll replace some of that value. Are they going to replace all of it? Probably not. So everybody's looking at probably making less money. Now, maybe you get a big TV deal and everybody ends up making a couple $1 million more, and that would be great. But if you go and you add SMU and Boise State and San Diego State and let's say UNLV just for the hell of it, you could be looking at making like $5-6 million less than you were because of the value is not adding, it's basically watering down the pool of money that would then be distributed. So that's what the Big 12's having to balance. I mean, that's what they're having to figure out right now with what they've already done, much less what they might still attempt to do. I don't think realignment's over by any means, and I think, these TV contracts are going to be very telling and will definitely shift some momentum in one direction or another. But right now for the Big 12, I mean, there's absolutely no reason to try to be in a hurry to go and add some schools that you don't have any clue of whether or not they would actually make your money worse.
Yeah, you better hope that when you add those schools, since they are coming in the 23 season, apparently that those are new.
It's a year from June 1st or July 1st, I think.
So now that that's coming, you better hope that you Houston Texas Tech matchup and TCU UCF or whatever BYU Baylor, all those matchups do well on TV and are intriguing, because then you can, while negotiating the TV deal, go, look, this is cool.
Jay Spears, the best games